Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. A significant confession, a chiller of a turn, and the countdown to the greatest wake-up call. The first week of General Hospital being written by temporary writers was this past week. There also seemed to be a lot of filler dialogues recapping the events of the previous several weeks to months, despite the fact that we made significant progress in some plots. That does occur occasionally, but it will be interesting to observe how the soap opera develops as long as the writers' strike continues. But the performance really took off on Friday, and there were some pleasant surprises. The gaslighter Gladys. It seems as though the question is no more how horrible Gladys is, but rather how much lower she can go. She and Dr. Montague are now gaslighting Sasha into believing that she was never getting better, as if having her transferred to Ferncliff wasn't horrible enough already. At least Sasha has discovered the doctor, but she hasn't made the connection that Gladys is also engaged in her situation. Naturally, the doctor drugged her before she could warn anyone. Thankfully, Cody ultimately confided in Dante about his relationship with Gladys and Selena, as well as his worries that Gladys would be using the guardianship to support her gambling habit. Thank the stars that Sasha might yet have hope. Hopefully we won't have to witness months of Sasha being drugged up and imprisoned thanks to Cody, Dante, Sam, and now Maxie, who also senses something is odd. Sasha has already endured a great deal, so it is terrible and upsetting to watch her suffer anymore. At this point, Sasha essentially serves as a punching bag at Sunny's gym. I could literally feel my blood pressure rising while watching Sasha plead for assistance and Gladys leading Maxie away so she couldn't hear her. After everything she's been through, the show could easily release Sasha and send her on a mental retreat if they so choose. A nicer explanation for the actress's off-screen maternity break would be that Sasha merits some joy, even though that's not as dramatic as her current circumstance. I only hope Gladys ends up in Ferncliff when she is outed. Dang, it's about time. Viewers have been puzzling by Ava's decision not to go to Sunny right away ever since the beginning of her Nicholas and Mason conflict. It's not like we were expecting him to flit on Ava because he has no love for Nicholas. They've come a long way in their efforts to parent Avery together, and it shows. Therefore, it came as no surprise to us viewers that Sunny was more than willing to assist her and deal with Mason when she finally told him the truth. Why wouldn't Sunny intervene and defend their daughter while Mason is also endangering her? Although it's unknown how much creative control the temporary authors have over the plots, many viewers would welcome a quick turnaround on this one. Like many recent plots, this one has been drawn out for what seems like an eternity. With Ava getting Sunny on board, the narrative seems to have finally reached a turning point. It's time to discover out who is behind Mason and the Gatlin gang, as well as what will become of Nicholas. Austin seems to have been written into yet another "What do we do with this character corner now that it's Ava and Sunny versus Mason and his family," which is the only issue I see happening. Return of Laura and Lulu. Well, kind of. Since they left a few weeks ago, Laura and Valentine have returned to our screens, safe in Chechnya, or as safe as they can be. However, they learned had been sold and the new owners had no idea where Nicholas was while touring the old Casadine mansion nearby, which appeared to be the set that was Jack's and Carly's previous house but repainted. Naturally, we are all aware that this is a fruitless endeavor and that Nicholas is in Portok. Hopefully this means Laura and her family are returning home and reuniting now that they are back on our television screens, and Anna is featured in the promo for Monday's episode. The focus needs to shift more on Laura, her kids, and her grandkids because they are the heart of the show. Speaking of Laura's kids, Lulu returned. Well, sort of. It seems like a very long time since anyone has spoken of Lulu or suggested going to see her. Imagine the shock when Dante took Charlotte to visit her on Friday. Why then not Rocco as well? Hey, I won't be too picky, at least Lulu visited us, even if it was simply to give us a bed and some blankets. Dante's revelation that Lulu had been transferred from the specialized burn hospital to General Hospital was what really caught everyone off guard. Lulu has indeed returned to Port Charles. Since Lulu hasn't been mentioned in a while, as I previously indicated, this makes it seem as though she would soon awaken, as Charlotte begged her mother to do. And no, your eyes weren't deceiving you. That was the original actress who played Charlotte, not the most current. They put in that Molly had an accident, just as we get to know the new actress who will take over the character of Molly, who is allegedly a permanent replacement. Many fans immediately assumed that new Molly would be benched as a result of Hayley Pullo's actual issues, thinking, oh no they didn't. Although it was later determined that Molly had simply tripped, the actress's foot boot raises the possibility that she may have suffered an injury. Not for the first time, a real-life whoopsie would have to be included, and as I mentioned last week, this is a fantastic opportunity to put a stop to the surrogacy plot while we get used to the new actresses. It appears that's what's happening as well, with the focus now shifting to Christina's efforts to launch her youth center. While Michael and Willow certainly have a cute family, it is insufficient to keep them intriguing. And even though Willow had brought Nina, who tried her best to be kind throughout her visit, Michael simply had to be nasty and couldn't wait to hurry her out the door. So you can imagine my surprise when Nina intervened to respectfully tell Michael that his attitude stinks, as is evident from his continual stink face, by telling him so. To be much more direct, Christina just asked, "Bro, why you always got to be such a bastard to Nina?" Now that I understand it, Michael has every right to resent Nina, but he also needs to honor Willow's preferences. Additionally, perhaps Willow needs to speak with Carly and ask her to drop the grudge, just as she did with Nina. Knowing he was paralyzed, Curtis reacted accordingly by shoving Portia away in a furious manner. As Dr. Portia remarked, it's typical for patients to act in this manner at first. Finn apparently convinced Curtis with his woo-woo new age speech, as Curtis described it, so it looks like we won't have to put up with angry Curtis for too long. I actually laughed when I heard that. However, unlike example, Finn and Liz's date, Chase and Brooke Lynn's skinny dipping challenge was enjoyable and engaging. It's good to see that Chase is no longer strictly a follow-the-rules type of guy. Esme almost explicitly stated at the end of Friday's episode that Trina was more significant to Spencer than she and Ace were, as if we didn't already know she was hot for him. Esme 2.0 is after Sprina, so they'd best watch their backs. When Carly first started to struggle, I had suggested that she start working at Kelly's, but I had imagined her as a waitress. Even yet, it was gratifying to watch her take over the family business from Bobby, who is seeing to Luke's finances in Amsterdam. I'm fine with waiting as they try to figure out how to write Jacqueline Zeman's demise. I want the real writers, not the temps, to write this show. Returning to Carly, I adored her clueless-inspired whatever and double eye roll when she understood that Sunny and Avo were up to something but didn't care what. The best part, or second best after the Lulu surprise, is kept till last. Yuri returned. What a treat it was to see him, and he had Terry mention that they had been dating for a year. If only we could see more of these on our screens right now. Thanks for watching if you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.